Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out another installment of our daily show, Bodybuilding Daily, where we talk about all things hot topic and trending in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I want to thank all of the new and old subscribers. As you can see, the algorithm has been blessing us, and our numbers have gone up phenomenally. Typically, we're around 90% not subscribed, but we just creeped into the 70 percentile. So I genuinely want to thank everyone who's been watching the channel and sharing it with like-minded individuals. Now, next up, or at least in the first story, I want to talk about this absolute phenom coming into the pro ranks. 23-year-old IFBB pro Bree Marshall. Sorry, for some reason I read her username as Brema because it's Bree Marshall, no spaces. Anyways, I'm weird. I'm sorry. She's making the switch into the women's physique division this year. And from what I saw on her scorecard, this will be her pro debut year after turning pro in 2020 at the NPC Junior USA Championships, is where she earned her pro card. That's how you turn pro. And like I said, she's moving into the women's physique division. And this is after, according to one of her Instagram posts, adding 30 pounds of first class tissue, not just lean tissue or stage weight, first class tissue. So I'm happy to see that she's been making those improvements since 2020. This is going to be 3 years of her building a pro worthy physique, as some people will say. And I also want to highlight her YouTube channel. I closed the tab already, but it is in the description of the video. It is Bree Marshall 4270. This is where I got her posing routine from. If you guys can just pause the video real quick, head over there, smash the subscribe button, and leave her a comment letting her know that she's on BNN, and just help her maybe creep into the algorithm, and hopefully we'll see some more content from her in the near future. I think she has a lot of promise, and for her being this first year in the pro leagues, I'm very excited for her. But next up, we have Horse MD and Ramon Dino are doing some posing routines together, working as they are 4 weeks out, or at least Ramon is 4 weeks out. But this photo collage I thought was kind of interesting, highlighting some discrepancies in the posing and what he's doing in that specific shot. Now, these are two of the most recent stage shots of Ramon, and you can see the elbows are low, but they're not super low, whereas that's kind of one of the takeaways I saw from Robert Hospidelis. He's been doing a lot of the bodybuilding news in the Spanish or Portuguese side of the house, and I think he's been doing a phenomenal job. His comment was, "Brah, those elbows are so low. Why?" And I think that there is a strategic version or a reason for athletes to have the lower elbows. It does make right there, see, it makes the lats look thicker. Whereas once you start moving the elbows up, you're going to start literally just like as you're watching it, just pose with me, hold your lat. As you move the elbow up, it's stretching the lat, and it's not making it look as thick and especially wide or girthy. So it's something to focus on. It's something I think is an important thing to talk about. And also, I noticed that there is a critique from none other than one of our favorites, Goat Fitness, talking about how in that photo, the proportions were off, the elbows were different. It wasn't the same pose, so it's very difficult and somewhat deceiving to make those critiques. But I do appreciate Who is the Best BB Bodybuilder on Instagram, as they reshared the Canna Littenholm. Haven't heard that username before, but they're the one who originated that collage. Next up, in all due respect, Patrick Moore is not ready for the Arnold Classic. You can see by these photos that he looks big, and compared to last year's prep photo on the top, he does look big. But we're going to go into a zoom in just a second after this one. You can see skin folds in the lower back, and that is, for the most part, it's very indicative of someone not being in stage ready shape. And we are 4 weeks out, ladies and gentlemen. it is going to be an absolute bloodbath for him to get ready for the Arnold Classic if he's going to have that much tissue and water and, possibly even body fat in that lower back. What we're seeing right here, this is from last year, so this is not indicative of what he's going to look like currently. But as it moves down, you're going to see what I'm talking about. And also, as soon as it gets there, focus on the forearms as well, because there's definitely a difference in the level of conditioning, vascularity, striations in those forearms, as my stupid little face thing is in the way of the arm right there. And I keep that in the videos so that you guys actually know what I look like, because I haven't put my photos in videos in quite a while, or I haven't done camera stuff in quite a while. I'm actually ordering a new camera. But it's not, it's not a bad thing that he's playing the size game, but if he wants to place well, I don't think that that's going to be a good strategy. We've seen this play out last year. Brandon Curry came into the Arnold Classic in, possible guest posing conditioning, and it just didn't work for him. So I'm hoping he doesn't play the size game. I hope he does the conditioning game. Someone who does play the conditioning game quite well is a good friend and co-host of the Classic Kings podcast here in the Bodybuilding News Network, is Lamar Shaw. Now, Lamar is in his off season. There we go. Words are hard. But I was looking at his posing routine, and I've always wondered how much a name plays in someone's placings. But Lamar, I thought, looked really phenomenal in these this Olympia footage. And I'm probably going to do a side-by-side of him and Ramon and see where the discrepancies are and where Lamar needs to make improvements, because the thing that I thought that Ramon needed to improve most was the upper body thickness and width, and then also the overall leg thickness. Whereas Lamar, he's very thick and wide up top, good small midsection, and debatably better legs than Ramon Dino. So just something I'm throwing out there, not to hype his train up too much, but I think Lamar's gonna have a phenomenal year in 2023. And last but certainly not least, William Bonac and his coach, Chad Nichols. Thank you for the correction, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment sections below. Sometimes I rattle off information, and it's good to have y'all correcting me. Has shared a physique update and also an answer, as we look at last year's Arnold Classic footage, an answer to what everyone's been wondering about the kidney conversation. And Chad Nichols, I'll just read the post for you. Chad Nichols does say, I wanted to post an update on William Bonac since I had gotten some of the messages asking about how he's doing. William is on target to be bigger and better, which I think is questionable. Bigger, better, yes. Better is always yes. Bigger and better than he was last year at the Arnold and Boston Pro. And William has done that with the, this is me talking, he's done that with the gyno correction and then the training. And then, he didn't really hit it at the Olympia, but he possibly could at this Arnold Classic. Continue reading. We had his blood work ran before he confirmed for the Arnold Classic, and everything looked great. But we also had to realize that he just finished competing at the Olympia, and the simple fact is everybody that did the Olympia and that knows that the Arnold Classic lineup is a little beat up. It's not a perfect world. Everyone could take a month off, but we don't live in the perfect world. Pretty much, it's a very long post. I don't want to bore you. Pretty much saying that there's nothing wrong with the guy. They're doing what they need to do for him to win the Arnold Classic. That's their goal, going for the three-peat, right? 3-time Arnold Classic champion. So I'm hoping that he does well. I genuinely think, everyone's talking about Sean Clarita, but I think William is pretty impressive. And I think that those two could really go head to head and be competitive. And I did not mean to cut the video short. We did have one more story. Bodybuilding.uk has shared the Irish Bodybuilding Awards for 2022, for the year 2022. And the best pro male category winner was Darren Farrell. And this is his posing routine 2 weeks out from this most recent Olympia. And I like Daryl's physique. I think that he has, Darren's physique. I think he has good flow. And, I hate to jump right to the critiques, but he needs to make some improvements in the legs if he really wants to move up in placings. I think he has good proportions and good thickness in the back, but the legs, especially from the back, are quite narrow. You can see, a little bit of a gap and possibly even a discrepancy from left to right. Maybe that was just a posing mishap, but I would like to see, quite a bit more tissue on the legs overall. But you can't be mad with this physique. I think it looks phenomenal. But ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. I appreciate all of you for checking in on this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this style of content. My name's Josh Sanch. As always, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network, and I'll see you in another episode on BNN.